Here is the sweatiest Fortnite skin of each letter, starting with the Aura. I don't know any other skin that starts with A that could have taken this spot from Aura, or even had a chance to be honest. Especially since pros have been using this skin since it dropped all the way back in 2019, and it's one of those skins that'll never go out of style. But the Blizzabelle might go out of style since it's a seasonal skin. Although, it is the sweatiest skin that starts with the letter B. And I'm sure almost everyone watching this can agree. And also everyone watching should own this skin, since, well, it was free. And the main reason this skin made this list is because it's another style of Isabelle. But the same can't be said for Crystal, since this isn't a reskin, and pros are simply using it for the way it looks. And not gonna lie, I kind of blame Bugha for making her as famous as she is, since he used to main her around the time he won the World Cup. Oh yeah, and I also put the Cozy Commander skins at C. And now we move on to D, and Dummy takes this place. Mainly since all the other good skins that start with this letter are now a bit outdated. You just don't see many people using them anymore. But it's not rare for you to catch a dummy doing something like this. Probably. Oh! Then I don't see many people using the Echo, but it still takes a spot for E. Especially since a ton of EU pros made this skin look good. On top of that, Hen included this skin in his locker bundle, and he's from England. And frankly, I'm glad I don't see many people using this skin, but just look.
Bro, I'm not...
And for F, we have the Focus. But that isn't the only skin at F, since Frankenstein's Bride is very sweaty. And I know for a fact when they drop this skin again, a ton of players are going to pick it up. And it's like every player who does use the Focus plays exactly like Reet, especially in creative. Then I bet no one owns the skin listed for R. But first let's look at G, since we have the Get Far Out skins. And I'm not sure if this counts or not, since, it's a whole set of skins. But if it does, they're definitely the best skins that start with this letter, especially since they're so simple. You even have the option to customize them, which I love, and you can pick them up for 800 V-Bucks. That is a perfect combination if you ask me. I'm not going to do the same and include a whole set for H, so the Harmonizer takes the spot. And this skin got released with the Press Play set back in 2021. Then this has to be one of the best skins from the set, especially when you consider how fast it skyrocketed in popularity. Then this is probably why. As for I, the letter, we have Isabelle. And this had to be one of the best skins Fortnite dropped during 2021. Especially since this skin got so many reskins that also look fire. Because, well, we have the traditional style, the Grisabelle, Chrisabelle, and I couldn't forget about the Blizzabelle. So that lets you know this skin is more than just sweaty. And it's a skin the whole community loves. The same could be said about Jennifer Walters back in Chapter 2 Season 4, since she was one of the most popular skins back then. Although now it might be hard to find someone using her, since most people stop using Battle Pass skins once the season ends. And does anyone know the reason for that? But I'm sure we all know why Kuno takes a spot for K. And if not, mainly because of Unknown Army and his crazy plays. Then I'm surprised Fortnite hasn't given Unknown a bundle with Kuno in it yet. And Kuno isn't the only skin for K, because we also have the Karate KO skins. But now, let's move on to L. And the only skin that can take this spot is Lara Croft. She's probably one of the only few Battle Pass skins players have used after the season ended. Then I don't know if it's because of the solid gold style or what, but it seems like almost everyone loves a fully gold skin. Which is exactly why Midas takes the spot for M. But to be fair, there are so many good skins that begin with M. We've got the Mogul Masters and the Manic. Those take this spot as well. Then we can thank Scoped for making the Manic as popular as it is. Just look at his thumbnails. And even though Cypher has a bundle for this skin, he doesn't use it as much as Scope. And the list gets even better as we move on, since NBA skins secure the spot for N. Mainly since all of these skins are just so good. Of course, I'm talking about all the NBA skins, including the new NBA pregame bundle skins that they just dropped. And from the looks of it, I can already tell there are going to be a lot of tryhards using these skins, especially since each one is only 800 V-Bucks. Then, not everyone might agree with this, but for O, you have Orin. And that's because there are barely any good skins that start with this letter. Because the Oro or Omega, they're not sweaty at all, especially in today's time. And you did have a few good players using Orin when he first dropped back in Chapter 2, Season 5. But mainly since, well, he was an anime skin. And for P, I couldn't resist putting the Poised Playmaker. And here's why.
150! 1 tree! Dead!
Running. 150 dead.
2 tree! Fit dead!
Then there was a point back in Chapter 1 when players used to be scared of anyone using the Poised Playmaker, or any soccer skin in general, and I'm glad those days are over, personally. And I almost forgot, the pit stop makes a spot for P as well. And thanks to Valentine's Day, we finally have a good skin for Q, and that's Queen of Hearts. Because if they never dropped this skin, the Quackling would have made the list, and I'm sure everyone knows that skin is not that sweaty. But let's move on to R, and the Renegade Raider takes this spot. I bet no one watching owns this skin, but if you do, you're definitely a real OG, unless you bought your account. Please tell me you didn't. And almost every Renegade Raider is insanely sweaty, and that's most likely since they've been playing the game for 5 years at this point. And for S, we have the superhero skins and Siren. Then I'll leave it up to you if you want to include Sparkplug on the list, but you don't have an option if Siren makes the list or not. Especially with Benji making plays like this while wearing the skin.
What?
My man just did an editing course mid-game and killed 2 players with 1 bullet. Ow! Then I still find it kinda unbelievable that people turned Travis Scott sweaty. Because he's the only Icon Series skin that sweats even care about. He's even an arena god at this point. And you also have some players who use him since he's rare. Then when it comes to Mongrel, he doesn't have to explain why he wears Travis.
You shoot it through window. Dimitri!
And everyone loves fashion, right? Because that's why the Unchained Ramirez Balenciaga skin takes a spot for you. Then I can't lie, I'd love to see Fortnite release more fashion collabs this year. Especially if they're as high quality as the Unchained Ramirez. Also, this skin kinda reminds me of the Sparkle Specialist. Then, speaking of skins that remind me of something, the Vix is basically another version of the Lynx. And we all know Sweats used to love using the Lynx late in Chapter 1 when it got released, especially players like Razor X. And since the Vix is the human style of her, I don't see why it shouldn't make the list. And for W, we have the Wildcat. This is a skin you don't see too often, and trust me, that's a good thing. Since almost everyone who owns this skin has some type of crazy gaming setup that gives them all sorts of advantages. Plus, the skin technically costs nearly $500, so no wonder it's rare. Then for X, we have Xenomorph. This might be surprising, but what's even more surprising is the fact that there are only 3 Fortnite skins that start with the letter X, and none of them are that good. But, not gonna lie, Xenomorph is pretty cool, since there's no other skin in Fortnite that looks quite like this. And for Y, we have the Yuki. I'm shocked that players have already stopped using anime skins as much. And they literally just dropped last year. But on the other hand, the X2 twins made this their new main skin, and we all know both of them are so sweaty. So whenever you see someone using Yuki, just hope it's not the X2 twins. And now, we move on to Z. And Zadie takes this spot. It's crazy, but this is a skin you'll only see in Arena. Although not just any division, because most of the players who use this skin have tens of thousands of arena points. And subscribe before you go. Peace.